Hi there, my name's, oh, here we go. Hi there, my name's Marina Newington, and I help entrepreneurial women do more in less time. And I am so happy to be talking to you today about goals. And the topic for today is that goals are your number one asset. Now, goals are everything. They are absolutely critical. When you hear the word goal setting, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel excited or does it make you feel apprehensive? Because a lot of times people get worried about goal setting because um, they have had poorly crafted goals before that have not served them well in their business and in their life. And what we're going to talk about here is how to make goals your number one asset. Okay, an asset, you know me with my acronyms, is an acronym and it is my spin on SMART goals. And I'm going to take you through it and show you how you're going to be able to craft goals that are going to be actionable, that are going to generate results, and that are going to give you all the results that you're after. Okay, so I want to start to talk to you first about why goals are so important. So let's look at the example of a sat nav. All right. I don't know who doesn't have a sat nav in their car. I have a sat nav in my car. When I need to go somewhere, what do? I put in my destination. And the sat nav, in its beauty and magic, speaks to the satellites, it calculates my GPS, and it looks at where I am right now, where I want to go, and it tells me the best way to get there. Now, this is the basic strategy of power system and the path to productivity, right? This is what I teach at my complete productivity formula. Where are you now? Where are you going? And how are you going to get there? So that's what we want to do, right? And that's what I want to help you achieve. So, one of the key fundamentals of this equation is figuring out where you want to go. Okay, so you have to be able to program in that destination, and then you're going to be able to figure out how to get there. And where you want to go are your goals. Okay, those are your endpoints, and they need a certain set of criteria in order to make them successful. And those criteria are why goals are your number one assets. So let's talk about what assets stand for. So A, first of all, I'll run you through them, but A is for align, S is for specify, the next S is for stretch, then we evaluate and time. So let's look at align. Now, the first step to goal setting is to understand if your goal is aligned to your core values, your passion, your why. Now, I talk about this all the time, the secret sauce that makes work fun, right? This is what motivates us, what excites us, what gets us going, and what thrills us, right? Our why. Okay, now what we need to do is make sure that our goals are aligned to our why. Because if they are, then we will always have the motivation to do our work. So, you know how you get to your work sometimes and you're like, oh, I just don't feel like doing this. That's because your goals aren't aligned to your why. If your goals are aligned to your why, then you always know why you're doing what you're doing, and it is something that is going to spark your passion and your motivation. So you need to ask yourself a few questions when you look at this goal. Does it seem worthwhile? Is it the right time? Does it match my other efforts and needs? And is it applicable to the current socioeconomic environment? So, for example, hello, COVID pandemic, how do my goals need to change in order to accommodate what is going on around me? Okay, next we're going to move into specify. And this one is so critical. I love this one because I am a very specific, organized, exact person. And to me, this comes naturally. But to a lot of people, they really struggle with this. And this is super, super, super important. So, for example, let's say you set yourself a revenue goal for your business. This year, I want to grow my revenue. What does that mean? It's so vague. It doesn't really mean very much, right? You say, this year, by December 31st, I want to increase my revenue by 20%. This year, by December 31st, I want to achieve £100,000 in my business in revenue. Now you have a goal. Now you have something to work towards. Figuring out how is the next piece of the puzzle, but now you have a goal. You know what you're working towards. Does that make sense? The more specific you are, the easier it will be to make that path to get there. Okay, the next thing we're looking at is stretch. Okay, now this is also really important. Okay, this is about setting stretching goals. Now, there are two traps that people fall into with setting goals. Either they make them so easy and so achievable that they're not really going to push them forward, and they're not going to take them to the next level, and they're not going to give them the growth that they are after. Or they set goals that are so out of this world, unattainable, that they end up just feeling, depressed and like a failure, that they didn't achieve those goals that they set for themselves. So the idea is to push yourself out of your comfort zone and set stretching goals, but make sure that they're attainable and realistic at the same time. But you definitely want to stretch yourself, okay? So whatever your comfort zone is, set your goals higher. So let's say you want to get another 1,000 people on your email list. Okay, well, that may seem a big goal. Let's say you want to get 500 people on your email list, and you think in the next year you're going to be able to increase your email list by 500, pretty steady. You're going to be able to tick that. Set yourself a goal of 1,000. Does that feel scary? It stretches you. It stretches you. You're going to have to work harder. You're going to have to come up with new ideas. You're going to have to innovate. And that's what a goal should do. It should move you forward. I know you can do this, okay? You have this. You have this. Okay, the next is time. Okay, now you have to put a time into your goal. You have to say when it is going to happen by, okay? Because if you don't give yourself a deadline, then you're not going to give yourself the focus that you need, okay? A deadline helps to prevent everyday tasks from taking priority over your longer term goals. Okay, so you set yourself, another whole topic is about setting targets and milestones, okay? But what you want to do is make sure that you have a timeline. So we know when I was talking about specific, and I said by December 31st, I want to. There could be other things, all right? So we are about to start the year. By December 15th, I want to have my annual plan for 2021 finished. Okay. By March 15th, I want to launch my new program, which will be the rebranded Power System. Okay, so you give yourself a deadline, then you have a line in the sand, you know what you're working towards, and it keeps it a priority for you to do. Okay, now our last one, that was it. Did I skip one? I did. I skipped 4. I skipped evaluate. Oh dear. So sorry. So we had align, specific, stretch, and then we have evaluate before time. I'm so sorry. Evaluate. This is so important because there's no point in setting goals if you're not going to track your progress and review your results. Okay, so you have to be able to track what you're doing and review what you're doing. So I have a monthly plan that I work on here, but I also have a weekly big rocks here, and at the end of the week I look at what went well, and I celebrate my successes, right? And at the end of each month I have a spreadsheet, and I put in what my targets are for each month, and then I put in what my actuals are, and then I evaluate that. I look at it and I assess it. What went well? What was on track? What wasn't on track? Do I need to course correct? Do I need to change something? This is a very important part of your goals. You have to evaluate them on a regular basis. And then we get to time, which is about setting a deadline. Okay, and this is why goals are your number one asset. Okay, we've gone through the 5 steps, and now you know how to create goals for your business that are going to get you off for the perfect start for this coming year. Yay! Now listen, if you want help with figuring out what you need to work on, what your goals are, and to get you started, what you need to focus on, then I have an amazing free resource for you. It's called 6 Easy Steps for Female Entrepreneurs for female entrepreneurs to get more done in less time. And it is all about what activities you must focus on right now in order to deliver more results in your business in less time. Okay, so click the link below to get your free worksheet, and it's going to help you figure out what you need to focus on, and that's going to get you started. But remember, goals are your number one asset. Align them to your why, set them to stretch you, be really specific, evaluate them on a regular basis, and give yourself a deadline. You can do this, you have this, and I can't wait to hear from you about how you're going to set your goals for the coming year. Okay, talk to you next time. Bye.